One thing that I absolutely detest during this entire Onision saga is periodically thinking that maybe, just maybe, he has a kernel of truth within a video that he puts out. Maybe, just maybe, there's something going wrong here, and maybe there's a person in the center of it all. No, he's going out getting that money, probably wants you to feel bad for him, but also he wants you to click those videos because there's no easy money left. You know, Patreon's gone bye-bye. Take this example in front of you. You can see him in his newest video trying to shop the idea that he's been served for divorce. You can see the papers in front of you. Seems laid out. Seems easy enough to understand, right? The only problem with this is, while he wants you to focus here, he clearly held it up, and you can see the portion here. You know, where the guy doesn't live. People have been calling this stuff out, too. You literally pulled divorce papers from Google. They say Florida. Come on, you gotta up your game. This person also goes further there. They showcase how this is your document. You can actually look through it. You can look and compare the two. I'll pull this up. You can actually freeze frame on it so you can see that if you want to compare and contrast. But yeah, look at this document here and then look at this here. Seems really familiar, doesn't it? Seems way too familiar, in fact. So hey there. So today I want to return to that wonderful world of Onision to talk about this guy a little bit more in detail and to talk about some of the things that I actually do think are going on here behind the scenes. Some of this is conjecture. Some of this is based on experience within mental health field. I've actually been related to it as people have doxed. So some of this also ties into money as well. Before I get into this, though, if you like this kind of content, you want to help an umbrella out, help us out with our interactions. Subscribing to the channel definitely helps, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate all of you doing that. Also, sharing videos, because sharing videos is the foundation to getting this word out, telling people what kind of person we're dealing with here. Also, liking, commenting, just saying interactions, saying onion boy, Onision, whatever in the comments that drives these forward, and it makes this stuff show up. Yeah, we should have this show up for him. So when we're talking about this stuff too, like I said, you can't take his word for much of anything. You have to doubt what's going on here because of a few simple facts. As I've talked about in the past, and I don't want to cover heavily, I do want to cover a little bit though, he has lost his Patreon. With losing his Patreon, he has lost quite a bit of money with that. This was also the headline that pops up in the mainstream, so people have seen this and the why. But if you look at the amount of money he lost, the last reported money was at about $1,614. If we're just saying around $4 where he was at, you can see the climb right now. You see the 563 folks. So you're talking over $2,200. I mean, this guy, he took that hit, and you know that he needs money. In fact, in this video, and I would play these videos, but this guy, he just loves flagging stuff. And while YouTube, they love giving me the little yellow hanky for this, I don't want this guy to own these videos. They're not his. They have nothing to do with him, so I'm not giving him a reason for that. But yeah, if you look at what he needs beyond it, I mean, he's getting that from all of this stuff. You look at the hits that he's getting right now because people are actually paying attention. You know, he's able to cash in on that. I mean, look at these hits compared to what he was getting before. This guy had pretty much slid into irrelevance. You can see that with some of these numbers, 33K and on. But all of this stuff, while it shines a spotlight on him, it also gives him the ability to cash in. I mean, he hasn't seen 400K clicks in a long time. 800K clicks, 600K clicks. I mean, you get the point within this. People are paying attention. They're watching his every move. So, of course, he is manufacturing video after video with a gotcha in there that I think, again, does actually have some type of kernel of truth within it. Like this video, for example, you can see that last one there where he's crying. That's this video. He notes a few things, like I need to go out and I need to actually sell my iPad. Yeah, I think that this guy probably will get to that point where he doesn't have anything and he's going to have to sell off assets. His car as well. Again, I think you're seeing somebody that knows that the end is there, and some of the acting that he throws out, it really does look like breakdowns. I've seen people have mental health breakdowns before, and this, it looks like somebody documenting it. Now again, I mean, we're dealing with somebody with a definite personality disorder here, but beyond that, I do think that this guy is having problems coping, and that guy could be dangerous too, to self and to others. I want to caution people about that as well. When you're dealing with people that are going through this kind of stuff, you have to be careful. Now, if you look at the hits that are currently going around with him, there always were different things you would pull up. You would get some from him, but then you start noticing this kind of stuff. You know, he's hit a new low. Then you notice, oh man, Chris Hansen, again, we have him 3 days ago. Again, another 400,000 clicks responding to a live stream. And well, when you go through Hansen's contribution to this stuff, we are talking about millions of views. I mean, absolutely. Let's just look at that right now. We are talking about millions of freaking views from live streams. I've never seen anything like this. When you can go through and you can have 1.1 million views talking to somebody here, you go through with these types of numbers, there are a lot of people that are paying attention. And what they're hearing, that story, it is absolutely insane. I think there's a lot of stuff too that other people can break down, but there's good mediums for that. Like the Medium articles. There's a solid article. You can see all of this stuff that's documented in it. It's quite a bit, so it's a lot to throw out there, but there have always been claims against this guy. Now, of course, I'm saying in that you always want to give someone due process. But yeah, here's you a 6-minute read on Onision, a decade of YouTube controversy, and, well, you see the rest there. Now, when you're looking through this stuff, too, it's insane to think this guy, he made his way forward because he dressed in a banana suit. He managed to get noticed by Tosh. I ever wonder, within that too, does Tosh ever regret actually spotlighting someone like this? Thinking, man, if only. If I had a time machine and I had ruled out getting rid of a certain dictator out there, what would be my next move? Would I highlight the guy in the banana suit? I mean, there's a lot of stuff within this, though. I mean, there is a lot of insanity to it. And a lot of these claims are about this guy going out and taking advantage of other people. Now, I normally would say with that too, that you need to wait for due process. And you really do when people make claims. That's something we absolutely need to understand. But remember with Onision, he documented all this. So he's the one who brought us these things. He wanted to bring us the turmoil. He wanted to clickbait his relationships. And when you look at them, he has this troubling thing about transporting people from places where something might be illegal to some place that it might not. There's a little act called the Mann Act there, and yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. I mean, when you look at this stuff, if you look at the mainstream, you have the Mirror and other places picking this up. You see how this guy is portrayed. Now, I'm not saying that the portrayals in the mainstream, they really add up to much. I've seen a lot of people slandered that way. But if you were just looking at this guy, you read some of these articles out there about the doxing allegations, about him spreading around people's phone numbers, and then, all of the other stuff, all of the oddity. Then you went to go look it up, and the first things you land on are Chris Hansen. You know what kind of people Chris Hansen catches. What would you think about that? And more importantly, what would the authorities think about that? I mean, you can go and just look this guy up on Wikipedia. And when you look through Wikipedia and you look through a lot of that, the notes that you get on it, there's not a lot here. You get a few and far between approach. But when you look at this stuff, yeah, it's not good. It's not looking good at all. And this guy, again, if he's starved of those clicks, if he can't actually, get this, and he's actually starved of those Patreon dollars here, he won't have any money to defend himself. So, of course, he's going to go out. He's going to make more and more outlandish claims. And like I said, when you look at this last thing here, I want to caution people taking his voice and saying, yeah, there's truth here. Like I said, I do think this guy's in the middle of a breakdown. I do think that this guy has some significant issues going on, and I think that he is smart enough to know that the jig is up. You know, when he's looking at that, he definitely has to know that. That makes him dangerous. Like I said, it makes him dangerous to self and to others. I hate to see that too, and I'm wondering where this stuff goes. I don't want to cover this all the time either. I don't really like this guy. Like I said, I don't really like covering people like this, but at the same time, people need to know. But anyway, you tell me what you think about this. Closing too, I want to keep this very short, but I want to thank you for showing up. You make endeavors possible, and I truly do mean that. People like Onision, he loves to tell people what he thinks about you. Well, you know what? Agree, disagree, I don't care. Thank you for showing up. You make this stuff possible. You want to help us out with our interactions? Thank you, but your time is valuable too. So, appreciate you spending it here. And we'll be doing this again soon, so thank you.